Welcome trainers, today I'll be showing you a Heatran raid my brother and I successfully duoed, and will share my thoughts on how you can also duo this legendary Pokemon. I'd like to start this off with a disclaimer stating that most players will not be able to duo Heatran under normal circumstances. This raid was super exciting because my brother and I have been playing Pokemon Go together since July 6, 2016, and at the time, we didn't think that we'd ever be able to duo a legendary raid together. Since then, we managed to become best friends in Pokemon Go, so we had a nice damage bonus helping us out. Additionally, although I chose my counters based on not having a weather boost, the weather did change from partially cloudy to clear while we were in the lobby, boosting our ground type attacks against Heatran. We also went into this raid blind in terms of what its moves would be, but had we failed on our first attempt, we could have adjusted our teams accordingly. We did not expect to be able to duo Heatran whatsoever, but once we did, we actually had a couple of other successful duos, which I'll talk about later in this video. In order to duo Heatran, it's important to understand what his top counters are. Overall, ground type moves are going to be king against Heatran, as he has a double weakness against ground type moves. He also has weaknesses against water and fighting type moves. For which Pokemon to use, we have Groudon with double ground moves, Rhyperior with double ground moves, Rhydon with double ground moves, Swampert with double ground moves, Golem with double ground moves, and Kyogre with double water moves. Other counters include Machamp with double fighting moves, Flygon with double ground moves, Alolan Dugtrio with double ground moves, and Breloom with double fighting moves. It's important to note that counter charts such as these consider the raid boss from the perspective of having extreme weather, so no weather boost, and also while fighting against every possible moveset Heatran can have. If you are looking for a more personalized counter list based on the Pokemon that you have, your friendship level, and the weather near you, I would highly recommend downloading the app Pokegenie. Pokegenie has a wide variety of features, but for this raid, I used its battle simulator. Through the battle simulator, I was able to figure out my top Heatran counters based on the Pokemon I personally had, along with how much damage I would be able to do with the local in-game weather, our best friend boost, and for all possible movesets Heatran can have. Under the circumstance that my brother and I were not best friends in the game, and we did not have a clear weather boost, we likely would have not been able to duo Heatran. Another tactic we took advantage of, which you'll see in our run-through, is the empty party glitch. Under normal circumstances, when you enter the raid with a full team, you actually lose about 5 seconds due to the battle start animation that plays when you enter the battle. If you enter the raid with an empty party, the game actually keeps you in the lobby and allows you to re-enter the raid with the full battle timer. Throughout this raid, I'll give you the stats of all Pokemon I used. One thing you'll notice right away is that the Pokemon I'm using are in no shape or form exceptional, IV or level wise. I just made sure that I used Pokemon who were ideal counters with ideal movesets. I'll include a list of the Pokemon used by both me and my brother in the description of this video. With that being said, let's take a look at the raid footage and which Pokemon I used against him. Pokemon number 1, a level 35 Rhydon with a CP of 2,859. His IV is 76%, comprised of 11 attack, 14 defense, and 9 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Mudslap and Earthquake, which is also boosted by the clear weather. Pokemon number 2, a level 32 Rhydon with a CP of 2,714. His IV is 73%, comprised of 11 attack, 10 defense, and 2 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Mudslap and Earthquake, which is also boosted by the clear weather. Pokemon number 3, a level 32 Rhydon with a CP of 2,700. His IV is 64%, comprised of 14 attack, 5 defense, and 10 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Mudslap and Earthquake, which is also boosted by the clear weather. Pokemon number 4, a level 26 Swampert with a CP of 2,181. His IV is 87%, comprised of 15 attack, 15 defense, and 9 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Mudshot and Earthquake, which is also boosted by the clear weather. Pokemon number 5. A level 31 Rhydon with a CP of 2,707. His IV is 82%, comprised of 12 attack, 15 defense, and 10 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Mudslap and Earthquake, which is also boosted by the clear weather. Pokemon number 6. A level 35 Golem with a CP of 2,664. His IV is 89%, comprised of 15 attack, 12 defense, and 13 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Mudslap and Earthquake, which is also boosted by the clear weather. Pokemon number 7. A level 31 Machamp with a CP of 2,596. His IV is 80%, comprised of 14 attack, 10 defense, and 12 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Counter and Dynamic Punch and got absolutely melted. Pokemon number 8. A level 27 Rhydon with a CP of 2,411. His IV is 84% and comprised of 15 attack, 11 defense, and 12 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Mudslap and Earthquake, which is also boosted by the clear weather. Pokemon number 9. A level 40 Gyarados with a CP of 3,348. His IV is 91%, comprised of 13 attack, 14 defense, and 14 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Waterfall and Hydro Pump. Pokemon number 10. A level 31 Machamp with a CP of 2,653. His IV is 98%, comprised of 14 attack, 15 defense, and 15 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Counter and Dynamic Punch and also got absolutely melted. Pokemon number 11. A level 31 Machamp with a CP of 2,627. His IV is 91%, comprised of 13 attack, 13 defense, and 15 stamina. He has the ideal moveset of Counter and Dynamic Punch and got nuked into oblivion. Last but not least, Pokemon number 12. A level 39 Vaporeon with a CP of 2,985. His IV is 78%, comprised of 15 attack, 6 defense, and 14 stamina. He has the moveset of Water Gun and Hydro Pump. We were pleasantly surprised to see that we managed to complete the duo on our first attempt with 25 seconds left. This can be largely credited to our best friend bonus and clear weather boost, along with Heatran not having a steel type charge move. When it comes to catching Heatran, make sure that you are patient and persistent. He seems to have a lower catch rate compared to other legendaries that have been featured in Pokemon Go. Prior to the raids today, I was actually going 1 for 5 in catching him, which is by far the lowest catch rate I've had for any legendary Pokemon thus far. If you're interested in the technique I'm using, I actually learned this from my favorite Pokemon Go YouTuber, FLW Videos. What you do is you hold the ball until the circle is about the size of either a great or excellent catch. Remember, it's better to go for a great throw and land it than it is to go for an excellent and miss. So do what you're most comfortable throwing. Once the circle is set, you're going to want to let go of the ball and wait for Heatran to taunt. Heatran has a really obvious taunt that makes it easy to time your throws. Once he has completely lunged forward, I typically will circle the ball twice and throw it at an approximate 45-degree angle. The position of the release should be directly to the left or the right of the catch circle. Heatran is a good distance away, so don't be timid when you throw the ball. I'm leaving the full catch footage in this video so you can see just how much of a pain he is to catch. There's also a few throws where I either get a great instead of an excellent or just narrowly miss the excellent circle. Understand that this is a technique I'm still working on to this day, as it takes patience and practice to do consistently. And there we have it, I finally caught him. As you can see, he has double fire type moves, which is part of the reason we were able to duo him with ease. In the interest of transparency, we attempted a Heatran after this with the steel type move Iron Head as his charge move, and we just barely lost to it. I'm including the last 30 seconds of that duo attempt so you can see what I mean. If you'll remember from my personal Pokegenie counter page, Heatran having Iron Tail created a situation where I would do the least damage to him, and thus create the lowest odds of beating him. It seemed like we barely beat him, but then we were greeted by the time's up screen. I mean, look at him, he even starts his feigning animation and everything. A couple of Pokemon level ups would have had us beating him, so I think it's definitely possible to duo Heatran with the move Iron Head, especially if you have a better team than we did. We managed to catch 2 more Heatran raids before raids ended for the day. I don't have footage from the 3rd duo attempt since my phone battery was too low to screen record, so I was more focused on looking for my portable than I was recording it. This is footage from the 4th duo attempt and 3rd successful duo where we had almost 50 seconds left over at the end. He had the charge move Stone Edge, which is a pretty bad move on Heatran as a raid boss as he doesn't benefit from the extra stab damage. Last but not least, here's a look at the 3 Heatran we managed to duo today. All 3 were weather boosted, so they can't be used in the Ultra League unfortunately. The second one, not shown in the video, had Bug Bite and Fire Blast and had an IV of 78. The first one had a double fire type moveset and an IV of 82. The third and final duo had Bug Bite and Fire Blast and a whopping IV of 96. This is probably the highest IV I'll end up catching, so needless to say I'll be holding on to him. To wrap up this video, if you want to duo Heatran, make sure you have ideal counters. If you don't have a best friend or ultra friend friendship bonus, a successful duo will require exceptional Pokemon in order to succeed. Lastly, use an app such as Pokegenie to simulate battle conditions and find out which Pokemon in your inventory leave you with the best chance of success. Duoing Heatran is a great challenge and comes with an even greater reward if you're successful in your endeavor. Let me know in the comments if you plan on attempting a duo and share any tips I might have left out in this video for others who are up for the challenge. And last but not least, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.